Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about 7 elements that will boost your productivity as a practice manager. Hi Ushan.
Hi Jared.
What do you think about the topic today?
It's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I would say. I think the role of practice manager is evolving and it's rapidly growing as well. So I think it's in today's context.
Yes. So the first element we have selected it as the streamlining administrative processes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a crucial part what the practice manager is going to play. So when it comes to streamlining, there's three things. First thing is how the practice manager is going to utilize the technology for efficiency purpose. So having the right systems, right CRMs. I think so that's the first part to it. And second, automating repetitive tasks. We know financial planning. There's like so many tasks there, right? Finding ways to do tasks better in a much efficient way. I think that's also it's important to boost the overall productivity of the team as well. And second, and the third point is having compliance systems. Again, automating that. Now on a day-on-day basis, we are seeing the compliance burden is increasing. Right. So even trying to see if we can automate that and have systems in place, right, to ensure compliant. I think that all comes under the streamlining side of things. So these are the three elements.
3 elements under this
streamlining. Yes, yeah. Exactly.
So that is one of the things that as a practice manager that we already discussed about the role of the practice manager. Yes. And if you are hiring a practice manager, what skills that you are looking for. Now today we are specializing. We are specially talking about these 7 elements which will nail your career as a practice manager. Yes. Right? And the second thing that we have chosen is the talent acquisition and development. So you need to have that skill also as a practice manager.
Definitely.
Because you need to build a team around you.
Yeah.
So your takes?
Yeah, I think practice manager is like a people's role anyways, right? And we also in our previous videos talked about having the importance of having high performing team. Yeah. Right? So it's financial planning. It's not a one man's job. You need to have a good team behind you for you be able to go in the long run and even succeed, right? So being able to identify top talent and constant training and development of that talent, and also building a collaborative team. I think that's also another important skill set of the practice manager, right? So the practice manager need to be able to set up the right systems in that, and he or she should also be able to identify the top talent, right? Like through assessments and through various other activities, and keep the guys motivated and keep them going. I think that's one of the challenging part, I would say, right? Pleasing people is not easy, right? And keeping them all in one line and making them work towards one goal. I think it's another challenging task of the practice manager.
Yeah. So as a third one, we have identified the client relationship management. So just as we build the team and we create efficiencies around it, we need to create a huge, the client relationship is a huge part of the practice manager, right? Yes. So just as your client, like your financial planner or your advisor, right, is making that relationships, practice manager has the responsibility to maintain them. So exactly. How should a practice manager do that?
Yeah, I think end of the day we need clients. We need to keep clients happy. We need to keep clients satisfied. That's the only way for the business to go forward, right? So using personalized communication strategy rather than making it generic, having that personal connection with the clients, right? Whenever the practice manager contacts the clients, building that personal rapport, I think that will take a long way, right? And also anticipating clients' needs, just going that extra mile. It's not like we don't have to always wait till the client comes back to us, right? So we taking that proactive approach, right? So those things are very important for the practice manager to build that good relationship with the client, and also establishing that trust. So that takes time, right? No one can build trust overnight, right? So again, this all if the practice manager does the first 2 points correctly, right? Having that personal communication and understanding the client's needs properly, I think then the trust will be automatically be built, right? Thereby they can build that long-term, solid relationship, with their clients, right? So overall ensuring the overall customer satisfaction.
Right. So, just in your career, right, as a practice manager, as a client relationship manager, also, can you give us a tip or can you give us an example, where you did some personalization to the client when it comes to the client relationship management? So I think it'll be relatable more here.
Okay, so yeah, I would like to actually share a story. Right, recently what happened was there's one of our clients, right? So we did the initial advice process, and the SOA is being he agreed to proceed, and we were doing the SOA, right? So the client then told us that he is trying to go on a holiday. Okay, so just assume that he's going on holiday on Friday. Friday is going out of the country, and he won't be there for 2 weeks, right? He just informed us, right? He didn't tell anything specifically. He just informed us and all, right? But what we did was, we understood that client is flying on a Friday. So what we did was we actually wanted to present the advice to him before he flew. Right, so we took the effort, without the client even saying it. We actually took the effort, we put in the effort, and we tried to present the advice to him by Wednesday. The client was so impressed, he was so happy. We did it in a very short span, and he signed up for the ongoing service as well. And so that's example, going that extra mile without the client having to tell you.
Yeah,
right? So
that,
I think
that builds you a strong connection.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And so the practice manager is is covering a vast area that we all know. So one of the other elements that a practice manager should do to boost his work also is branding, or the marketing side of things. So what kind of a role a practice manager will have in the space of marketing of a financial planning practice?
Yeah, I think we also covered in our previous videos and all. This brand identity is also important. Practice manager is a person who wears multiple hats, right? So you should be able to do every single task within the firm.
Yeah.
Right. So effective marketing and branding, again, directly it's linked with client engagement and also building that client base, networking and all. So practice management need to be actively involved in building the brand, and also working with the marketing teams in terms of marketing efforts, and building the online presence and all. I think that's also part of the practice manager. Right. Although I mean the weightage may be a little bit low comparatively, but they will also have to get involved in that particular side of things.
Yeah. So marketing is one thing. So, and then comes the finance as well. The risk management is there. The compliance is there. So and also practice manager should be updated on the regulatory compliance, frameworks, and also the regulatory updates, I would say, right? So what are the things that practice manager can do to make sure that the risk management side of things is also on point?
Yeah. So that's also a very, very good thing. So it should be part of the practice manager's process as well. Risk. It's not always looking into return. You need to assess the risk as well. Right? Specifically, if you're having other third-party partners and all, right? So being able to assess that risk, mitigate that risk, have clear diversification plans, and also clear mitigation strategies.
Yeah.
I think that's also role of the practice manager, right? He or she should be on top of those things as well, right? And they should also be informed about the market trends, what's happening, right? And based on that, they need to make some clear decisions on the market based on market trends also. So that's also something what they really have to focus on.
Right. So this is talking about financial.
The general risk.
General risk. And let's come to the regulatory risk as well, or regulatory compliance, because that's a separate thing that we have selected as the number 6, right? So why it is so special, and why we have selected it as 6?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, we have not specifically selected it as 6, but it also comes, right?
Yeah.
What
I meant was like why we have selected it as a separate category.
Yeah. So I think with the ever-growing compliance needs, right, the compliance burdens are getting stricter and stricter on a day-on-day basis. It's putting a lot of pressure on everyone. Right, we are even seeing it. These days we are having some compliance problems. Also, that's a separate story. But leaving those things aside, staying current with the regulation, that's pretty much very, very important. So staying updated, and also running compliance audit and reviews periodically. So that will make sure that everything is run smoothly and you're compliant and your advice documents are compliant. So this will because end of the day, if you screw compliance, you're done. right? You can lose your license, you know, everything is done. So that's a very, very important area where the practice manager need to put emphasis on.
Yeah. And also the ethical considerations of financial planning is there, right?
Yes.
Because nowadays even ethical funds and ethical consideration in the financial planning and also investing
Yes.
is
those landscapes are changing.
Coming up. Practice manager is one of the key personnel in the financial planning practice who can even, you know, go an extra mile and show the path to the advisor that, you know, ethical practices are being done and this is how we are going to do.
Yeah, taking those new initiatives and, you know.
Yeah. And of course, as the last thing of practice managers, you know, elements that boost practice management practices, the continuous improvement and adoption is there, right? So it is, and this is an ever-evolving world that we always, in our all episodes, I think we are using those words. How should a practice manager exactly do that?
Yeah, I think that's not like one fit solution, right? So you need to you need to monitor the solution on an ongoing basis, right? And constantly make improvements and constantly adapt to the new changes, specifically in today's era, the AI, right? So you need to be able to adapt. So I think having the right KPIs, right, and measuring it as well. So I think that's also important. Then having feedback loops for improvement on a client side, at the same time on the team side as well. Yeah. So having these will really help to constantly monitor and adapt. Then also, you know, adapting to market changes like the technological changes, and also I think it's important. It's really important to the overall, you know, growth of an organization.
Right. So in today's episode, we learned about 7 elements that will boost practice management in financial planning industry. And as we learned, a practice manager is if you look at the helicopter view of the practice management, it is covering almost all angles of a financial planning practice. So these 7 elements will make sure that you are doing great as a practice manager. Hope you got some valuable insights from us. Thank you.